Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another tutorial, Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm here today to show you how to make this double gate fold. I showed how to do this in one of my last Zoom sessions a couple weeks ago. It's pretty easy to do, just need to get all the score lines and cutting instructions down, which I have all written down for you on my work surface. So I'm going to point you down to my work surface and we will get right to it. So I am using the new the new in colors from Stampin' Up that were just introduced. So we have, let's see. Okay, so this is the card and how it opens up. So it has the gatefold, double gatefold, and all those pretty colors showing. So these are the new in colors. You have 4 different in colors shown here. Very pretty, very nice and bright. And again, this is the belly band that goes around it. So the one I'm doing today, I am using, I believe this is the Starry Sky cardstock. And the colors that I have shown on my notes here, those are for my original card. So don't let that confuse you. So again, this is the Starry Sky, maybe the orchid color actually. Anyway, they're very close in color, but the ones, I think this is a Starry Sky. Anyway, it measures 11 inches by 5.5, and it's scored at 1 1/4 and 3 3/8, and then you flip it and you do the same measurements, 1 1/4 and 3 3/8. The reason why I'm flipping it is so that you don't have to extend your arm on your cutting machine. So you could do it either way. You can either measure it across and just score all the way across, or you can just measure the 1 1/4 and 3 3/8 and just reverse your paper and do the same thing. Okay, so then to do the folds, you're going to do a mountain fold first, then a valley fold, and then a mountain fold, like so. All right, and then we have lots of mats and designer series paper here. That seemed to have been my mode of operation lately on my Zoom classes. Seem to have gone through the stage of just doing lots of mats and layers. Okay, so that goes in the center. So we have, let's see, we have the Parakeet Party. That is this bright yellow piece, greenish piece. So you have 2 pieces that measure 5 3/8 by 1 7/8. Those are these pieces here. These parakeet pieces. And then you have 2 pieces that measure 5 3/8 by 1 1/8. Those are these pieces. So those are going to go on the far end of the card. The other ones are going to go here. And then you have one that goes in the center. Like so. So the center piece, do I have that on here? I don't think I do. So the center piece is the standard size that you would have as a mat. So it is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then you have a white piece that measures 3 3/4 by 5 is this white piece. Okay, and then you have all of your designer series paper pieces. Again, these are the in color, the designer series paper. So you have 2 pieces of Starry Sky that measures 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. And then you have 2 pieces of Tahitian Tide that measure 5 1/4 by 1. So I actually have those reversed. These are the Starry Sky. So these are measuring 5 1/4 by 1 on here. And these are the Tahitian Tide, and these are measuring 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. And those go there. Okay, so if you're not confused, I'm going to go ahead and start putting these together. Again, this was a card that we did on our Wednesday Zoom sessions. We meet at 10 a.m. to noon on Wednesdays, that specific time. Everybody is welcome. It's a free Zoom session. I have a featured card like this, and with all the instructions posted ahead of time so that we can all do the card together. It's a great way to use up your supplies. You don't need to use the same supplies that I use. And what's fun is you get to see how everybody else's cards turn out. And they're all just a little bit different because they're all using whatever supplies they have at home. It's just a fun way to get together, craft a little bit, talk a lot, and make a fun card. I do post all of the information on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room, so you can get the information there. And make sure you hit the details or description of the Zoom session, and that will open up all of the measurements that you will need for the cards that we're doing. Let me know in the comments of this YouTube video if you are liking the new in colors. I just think they are so nice and bright. Certainly different than what we've had the last couple of years, I think. I think the last couple of years they've been a little bit more on the pastelish side. And I'm just really liking the change. I can see myself making a lot of spring and summer cards out of these colors. And I think they just really round out the colors that Stampin' Up! Already offers really well. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear your opinions. And if you do make a card, jump over to my Facebook page on Melinda's Rubber Room and post the cards that you do. Let me know how I inspired you. I'd love to see what you made out of what I show you on YouTube. All right, so I'm almost done with these different layers. Make sure you stick with me until the end because I have a fun coloring technique to show you for the flowers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my card first, just in case I have to turn it over and stamp it again. That worked. So all we have left is the belly band, and that card is done. I'm not quite sure why these are not meeting in the center. Something was not scored quite right. Okay, so to show you how to color these flowers, I've already stamped and die cut them, as you can see. And what I'm going to use is a little bit of our re-inkers. Now these re-inkers are meant to re-ink your stamp pad, so when your stamp pad starts to run low of ink, you just drop a little bit of re-inker on there and you can freshen up your stamp pad. But what I'm doing is I just put a couple of drops on my plate here, And I'm using the Wink of Stella. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, and it has an alcohol base to it. So I'm just going to pull some of that color out and lighten it up a bit. And what it's going to do is add some glitter to that ink. And I'm just kind of creating a palette here that I'm going to use to color my flowers. This is one of my all-time favorite ways of coloring because it gives you such a nice smooth look to your coloring, and you can go right over your lines. I stamped these in Memento ink because it is a water based stamp pad, and I'm coloring with a alcohol based pen, so that ink is not going to run on me. You do want to make sure that it's nice and dry, but once it's dry, it should stay put when you're coloring with alcohol markers. I don't know if you can see the glitter on this, but it is really pretty. And you can also get some nice shading effects with these, with the Wink of Stella too, depending on how you work the color onto your flowers. So you can have some darker areas and then lighter areas as the color runs out. You don't have to be super careful with how you color it. If you have any questions on any of my videos, make sure you just leave comments and I will go back and look at them and answer any questions you might have. Or you can message me directly on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room and I can answer them there. One of the things I love about stamping is there's so many different techniques to learn, and a lot of times we try so many different ones and then we forget what we have done in the past and we relearn them. Just seems like it's a never-ending hobby or craft to learn. Almost done with this big flower. You can always go back and darken up some of those areas that aren't as dark as you would like. Add some more shading, whatever you want to do. Okay, those are my two flowers for the front. Actually, one's for the inside and one's for the front. I still have one more to do. It's going to go on the front. I'll try to do this quickly so you don't have to spend all your time watching me color. Hopefully you've gotten these measurements down and you're cutting them while I color this, and you can make your own card. Be fun to see what you make. This Tahitian tide is such a pretty turquoise. Certainly a color that we were missing from our color line. Alrighty, there we go. Put that aside. So now we have our belly band. So this measures 11 inches by 1. You're just going to wrap it around the card like so. Notch it up in the back. Make sure it's nice and straight. Adhere that down. Just realized a couple pieces of designer series paper are missing, the ones that are supposed to go on these flaps here. So right there. And that's because I put it on the inside of the card instead of the outside. But it works either way. That way the inside is nice and decorated. So if you wanted to, you could take those two same measurements for these panels here, put them on the inside as well as the outside right here. This gives it a different look. One of the things I love about card making is there's never any wrong ways of doing things. So we'll get this belly band on here. Okay, and then I have this small piece of parakeet. That measures 4 inches by 3/4. So it's going to be my little greeting. All right, and then I'm just going to add a pop of color with these flowers on the front. And make sure you only put glue where you want the flower to stick. So you don't want glue on the upper portion, otherwise you won't be able to remove your belly band. This one will slip in right underneath that other one. I'm gonna lift that flower up a little bit and stick that stem in there, just like so. And then I'll take that belly band off and stick this flower on the inside like that. And there is that completed card. All set and ready to go. Here are a couple other versions. A basic same layout using the same designer series paper, just different sides of that designer series paper. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something new, and I hope you can join us at one of my upcoming Zoom sessions. Again, if you would like to purchase any products that you saw on this video, you can do so at my online store at melindapierce.stampinup.net. You can also go to my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room and hit the Shop Now button at the very top of the Facebook page. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.